Welcome to the We Call Game podcast. Joseph Carpe Diem, putting in work from the AM to the PM, normal.
Joshua Vino here. Sipping this week after 3 weeks of water. Come on, let's go. Let's get turned.
Obviously,
some things to get off my chest.
Obviously, got moderator, King Russo.
Yes, sir.
In the building.
Yes, sir.
Come on.
Where do we get that from?
Obviously, the request was we got a little sound effect.
Oh,
so,
these.
Answer the call as always. You're welcome.
No, because I wanted that to happen, but I wasn't going to make it happen. So,
obviously, we got a friend of the show as well. Member of the Russell Westbrook Justice League. We got Charles in the building. I'm going to give you a round of applause.
Brunsexual.
Really?
Serious brunsexual, but what's up?
Too shook to defend these allegations, so we'll just let her run in it. I mean, it's not a microphone. That's no one's picking that up.
No, it's on.
No one's picking that up.
Yeah, it's on.
Oh, okay, cool. Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Call someone a brunsexual and they trap up.
Hey, we got some clothing as well, you know.
Oh yeah, shout out. Shout out at Sweet Boy. Don't know. Bless us with the garments today. Yeah, follow them on Instagram.
Yeah, go hit that.
Sponsoring this episode today, the Rasheed Wallace episode number 36.
36. Come on.
Oh, it's technical fouls today. The ball don't lie, and neither do I. So hit me with something, Richard. What we saying?
What should chat about Kobe?
Shout out Kobe. Obviously, 2-year anniversary this week of his passing. The 6th best player in NBA history.
Joe, do you agree?
No. You know I don't agree. He's about 11th, man.
Whatever. All G's know. Could be no lower than the 6th or 7th best player in NBA history. But shout out Kobe. Brought through the realness, the Mamba mentality.
Hold on.
A few of his disciples. Don't cut me off. A few of his disciples doing well in the league.
Kyrie, number one disciple.
Devon Booker, Jason Tatum, to name a few. Giannis, Kawhi. But you know.
DeRozan.
Yeah,
Russ was a failed disciple.
Russ. Huh?
Russ was a failed disciple.
Yeah, you know. He's a disciple up here, you know, not in where he actually can do.
Oh, if he's a disciple up here, what does that mean? Kobe's a dance? Because
Chill.
if that's what we're saying, because up here, we don't even.
Russell has full
So
belief
Russ is
in
cooking,
himself,
though.
just like Kobe, innit? That's what that man will inspire you to do, innit?
The difference between
Have you
belief,
doubting yourself?
the difference between belief and delusion, bruv.
Whatever. Anyway, let's move on from that before you say something about Kobe Bryant that gets you beat up and incapacitated. Or something like that.
I'm not gonna say that in wild. He's just the 11th best,
whatever,
just the 11th best player of all time, man. And that's not an insult. You know how many players have come through
Whatever,
the NBA. That's not an insult.
The fact that you've stopped at 11 means that you're definitely just hating. But cool.
What? How am I hating? He's the 11th best player of all time.
All right. Anyway, current stuff. Currently in the NBA, James Harden this week reports are saying that he will test free agency and isn't that happy with the situation in Brooklyn with people in and out of the lineup and their record and whatever and whatnot. Richard, obviously you're like reporter for the Brooklyn Nets. You fly in and out from actual New York, so you chime in. What's going on, bruv?
Yeah, like with Russ, he was saying that he wasn't really feeling the weather and stuff. So like, he wants to go.
Excuse me.
Oh yeah, he said he wants to feel in the weather and stuff, but he wants to cut, like, win a chip and cutting it.
You can't say weather and then he ends up in Philadelphia because it's just as cold
Why?
there.
I don't think it's the weather, man.
Do you think it's the taste of
To be fair,
adult dancers?
Do you know what it is? I'll be
Maybe the
honest.
strippers in New York aren't what they are in Houston
Nah,
and Oklahoma.
I don't think it's that. I think he's basically come to Brooklyn thinking, yeah, I've got KD, I've got Kyrie.
It's gonna be a pattern
It's
team.
going to be a pattern team to win a
And
chip.
you don't. It's never
And it's
actually
not
happened.
that-
Yeah.
So they haven't played together. And as I called it earlier, he hasn't got a good coach. So it's like, okay, Kyrie's in and out of the lineup. KD's injured. I might as well be in Houston.
I think Steve Nash is a scapegoat. If you're gonna say Frank Vogel's a scapegoat, then Steve Nash is definitely being scapegoat.
Well, you know the difference. The difference between Frank
Frank
Vogel.
Vogel's won a championship.
Yes, so we can't question his credentials.
No, but Steve Nash has had all this stuff to contend with, people in and out the lineup. He's never
There's injuries.
There's injuries. You've got a player that can't play road games or games in like Los Angeles and stuff like that. Like, he's just come back. Like, there's a lot to deal with. So I'm not just gonna point the finger straight at Steve Nash.
You know why I'm pointing the finger at Steve Nash? Why? Because he hasn't got experience. At least Frank Vogel has got experience. What? Frank Vogel won a championship with LA 2 years removed. Now he's the problem.
Okay, but the best thing about Frank Vogel is that he coaches defense. The Lakers are bad defensively. So what we've ordered on the tin, for you to do, you're not actually doing this year.
Okay, but
he's not the problem.
The players that are not playing defense. Though.
What do you mean? It's the players that are not playing defense.
It's the players that are not playing defense. You got Russ, you got Bron, you got
As a
Carmelo.
coach,
3 defensive liabilities.
Bron isn't a defensive liability. It hasn't been for a while.
Bruv, Bron does not play defense, man. Let's not do this.
So you don't watch LeBron James?
What? Because he's doing a couple of chase down blocks.
It's not the chase down blocks. He's actually facing up his man. Well. Like, what are you talking about? LeBron's been playing defense for like 2 years. Ever since Frank Vogel's come, LeBron's been playing defense actually, which is funny you mentioned that. But all I'm saying with Frank Vogel, you can say it's the players at the end of the day, but you're supposed to, as the coach, put them in a situation to win. Like, you had less talented players last year, and got them to defend. Yeah, you had quote unquote more defenders and stuff, but that's not an excuse for how bad the team is defensively. So if you're gonna criticize one coach for being inexperienced, how can you not criticize another coach that's supposed to have something on lock and it's not on lock? Your silence tells me, you know.
No, I'm not.
Bruv.
You know why? You know why I'm not hearing? Because more time, Carmelo said it out of his own mouth that LeBron is the GM for the Lakers. So the players that have been recruited have been given the nod of approval by LeBron. So were they not last year then? If he's the GM, and the year before, and Frank Vogel got them to defend, so why? So it's not LeBron's fault when it works, but then when it doesn't work, it's all LeBron's fault.
When it's get your narrative out the window, bruv. Let's talk about ball, bruv.
It's not a narrative thing, but when it works, what are you talking about? When it works, it praises LeBron. Oh yeah, LeBron is number. What do you mean? No one was saying last year Lakers are number 1 ranked defense. It's because LeBron's the GM, but only in your mind, you know that's happening because you're crazy. That's not actually happening. No one's doing that. Mean? No one is doing that. No one is saying that. But you, because you're narrative driven, make that up in your mind. Man. Oh, the Lakers have number 1 defense. It's because of LeBron James. No one was doing that. So why now does the Lakers have a shoddy defense? It's because LeBron James is the GM. Listen, I'm the sort of person. If it works, you get your adequate praise. Yeah. He's not the coach. Is he not the coach? He's not the coach. Frank Vogel's the coach, bruv. What does that even mean? LeBron coaches. He's the coach. Listen, LeBron does what he wants, man. I don't know why you're acting like man. LeBron does what he wants. I don't know why you're moving like he doesn't. But anyway. Right, so LeBron coaches the whole team, right? And he's the GM and he's the player. Yeah. Okay. What was he doing? That's what's coming from this side of the table. What was he doing in Cleveland? So we're clear. Just so we're clear. What was LeBron doing in Cleveland? Oh, so you think LeBron... This is... You man are so disrespectful. Ty Lue is out here making miracles out of a Clippers team with no stars right now. Last year, he was constantly down 3-1, making all the adjustments, and you still think that, it's LeBron James coaching the team in Cleveland. You lot are so dumb, you narrative guys, bruv. You're so thick. What? Come on, bruv. Oh, so you don't feel LeBron's coaching the team? Come out of here, bruv. You don't feel LeBron's coaching the team? I'm actually going to walk out the room, bruv. Let's talk about ball, bruv. Don't be coming here with no YouTube rabbit hole stuff, bruv. So wait, if Carmelo says LeBron coaches the team, what? Did he say LeBron coaches the team? He said LeBron's practically the GM, meaning LeBron said, Melo, you want to come here, meaning that he has say so, like any star
with who comes in and out of the team. That is different to coaching the team, coaching defensive schemes, what we do offensively, yada, yada, yada. That's Frank Vogel, Phil Handy.
You were dissing Phil Handy the other day.
David Fizz. I wasn't dissing Phil Handy. I've never dissed Phil Handy. I've never dissed Phil Handy.
LeBron was dissing Phil Handy the other day.
What did he say?
I think Phil Handy was talking to one of the players' teams, like one of the Lakers players, like in a game or something, and it was like the last possession before like the end of a quarter or something, and LeBron was like, "Why are you talking to him?" or whatever. But nothing to report. But just thought I'd add that to my argument, just because.
Bruv, only people like you and Skip Bayless know this stuff.
What? Oh, what? Because you
think I'm watching? Oh my God, LeBron said this to Phil Handy. I bet I can't even find that if I tried to find it. I bet I can't find that nowhere.
So what, we just have that information because we're LeBron haters.
Yeah. So you find what you want to see, innit?
Fair enough. I'm gonna let you live that one.
I'm saying move it along, bruv. What else you got for me? Oh, all-star selections, bruv. How is it? Yeah. By the way, you MVP lovers like Joe. You should go the best player on a winning team. The best player on a winning team. The best player on a winning team with a winning record. Bruv, I've heard no mention for Devon Booker for the MVP yet. The Suns are sitting top of the West. He's the best player on it. This guy dropped... I watched him drop 40 twice this week against Utah, even though Utah didn't have Donovan Mitchell and they've lost, 10 of their last 13 games, something like that. But man's not even getting selected as an all-star starter. Andrew Wiggins is.
To be fair.
Shout out Andrew Wiggins, by the way. I'm not going to completely crap on him, but go on.
Yeah, like he basically started because one of his guys in Korea, like he told his fans to vote for him.
Who?
Andrew Wiggins, innit? Like, some Korean pop star. Oh. Yeah. So, like, he just boosted all the votes for him.
This that Yao Ming thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because there was a time when Yao Ming used to get in over Shaq and everyone used to be like, yeah, so we know what's going on here. But it is what it is.
I'm going to be consistent. If Phoenix have the best record in the NBA, to my knowledge they do, Devin Booker's the best player on that team, he should be front runner for MVP.
Bruv, you should be the one coming in here telling me this, bruv. You're the one that loves the award so much and tells me the rules that stipulate you should get. But anyway, I'm gonna stop having a go at you.
No, because it's fun. It's cool.
No, but fam, the Suns are just, people are completely sleeping on the fact that they lost the NBA Finals last year. They're right there again, and no, I don't feel like anyone's speaking about that.
No one believes them. I think no one believes that they'll make noise.
Do you know what,
the NBA Finals last year?
Do you know what, though? I think with Devin Booker, I think it was a thing where the reason why he gets overlooked is because you were putting up these stats, but you weren't impacting winning. So the narrative, not that I agree with it, but the narrative is CP3 is more impactful on them winning games than Devin Booker is. That's the narrative. If there's a reason why he gets overlooked, because he was putting up similar numbers. Obviously, the numbers have got better, but he wasn't winning.
It's a team game at the end of the day. If you ain't got a team that can, this is why I hate when people talk about empty calorie stats, because it's just like, okay, if my team actually isn't that good, should I phone it in and you all say I'm dead and post 10 points? Or do I try my best and the only way we have a chance is if I put up these numbers? Then when the team doesn't win because other teams have better teams around them, it comes down to what? I'm putting up empty calorie stats. I hate to go back to him, but it's again with like LeBron James. It's just like, I heard this, I didn't watch it. One of the headlines on Undisputed this week was, I saw Skip was just like, LeBron is chasing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He's just scoring points. Well, I'm thinking, bruv, if he was out here scoring 15 points a night, you'll say he's washed. And then when he plays well, you're saying he's just chasing. It's like, what do you actually want them to do? I don't get it. What do you want them to do? You're on a bad team. You're a good player. What should a player actually do to impact winning? Bruv, if you're at the park and you're the best player, but then, okay, let's say there's 10 players to select from. Let's say there's like 14 players to select from. You're the best player you've got on your team, yourself, the 5th best player, then like the 8th best player, the 10th best player, the 11th best player, and then the last best player on your team. And then you're going up against the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, blah, 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 blah. What's likely going to happen more times than not? You play 7 times. What's more like? You could probably get 1 or 2 games, but generally, if they have better players and they're a better team, not one person is going to beat them. So I don't get this argument with these players where it's just like you can clearly see they haven't got the talent on their team. That's why when they get the talent, man can just go to an NBA final straight away. You give him Chris Paul. DeAndre Ayton steps up. You give him Bridges. You give him Jay Crowder. You give him all these pieces, this experience now. Man's now in the NBA finals. Next season again, man's the 1st seed, probably going to get to a conference finals again. So to say man wasn't impacting winning when straight away when you give him a good team, you're seeing the results, man's contending for a championship, I think is unfair.
Listen,
to say the least.
Listen, I'll be honest. I have to be consistent. If Phoenix end up with the best record in the NBA, which they probably will, and Devon Booker does not get the MVP, there will be a disservice.
He's not even in the discussion.
You know what?
Have you seen the MVP tracker?
Yeah, it's like I don't know why Jokic is there. I'll be honest.
I know why he's putting up historic numbers, but yeah, Denver aren't.
Yeah,
really...
but it's like, fam, you're putting up historic. This is, you know what this is going to go to? This is going to go back to the Russell Westbrook, Kobe Bryant, them putting up, Kobe averaging 36 points a game, but they're in the 7th seed.
But I'll be fair, I'll agree with that. If you look at a man's situation, because you could argue Jokic, no Michael Porter Jr., no Jamal Murray, what else can he do? And he's putting up historic numbers. I think he should be in the... My thing is that it fluctuates. Sometimes you allow it, and you'll give it to a man that's the 7th seed or the 5th seed, and then other times you'll say, no, it's got to be the guy with the 1st seed, blah, blah, blah. It's not clear to me. That's why I think you have this back and forth. But Devon Booker's not even in the race.
Yeah, he's not. Chris Paul's ahead of him still.
Because they need to give Chris Paul a legacy MVP.
Chris Paul's 5, KD's 4, Joel Embiid is 3, Giannis 2, Jokic number 1.
Steph gone to all the way 6th.
Yeah, he's been breaking
up. He's been playing poor recently.
Like, from his last 135 threes, the guy's only made like, so what was it? Like 90 something?
Who cares? I certainly don't. That's the thing I like about Steph. He's got no conscience.
Yeah, the guy's still going to shoot.
He's thinking about percentages and all that. He knows how good he is. He knows he's going to shoot his way. He's going to shoot his way out of this.
Steph is 6. DeMar DeRozan is number 7. John Morant number 8. Rudy Gobert 9. And then number 10 is LeBron.
What does no conscience mean? Because no conscience to me means taking bad shots. Is that what you mean by no conscience?
No, it means that you've got a short memory. You don't let it affect you.
The worst thing is, no one has a short memory. And this is the thing that's so funny, because imagine you were using the analogy of playing on a team with crap players, yeah? If you're on a team with crap players, yeah? So imagine, let's just say, for example, pick and roll, you break down the defense, man's open the corner for a 3, he bricks. You're remembering that he bricked. Like, all right, cool.
No, not necessarily.
You're remembering
Sometimes
that he bricks.
You have to make
remembering that. You know why you're remembering that he bricks? Because you're not gonna do it all by yourself if you're not remembering. If you're not remembering the brick. If I give you an open 3 to shoot 3 times and you miss 2 of them, I'm definitely not passing you the ball on the 3rd play. And I know you're not doing that. You're definitely doing. Yo, you have one job. You're open. Make at least. If you have 2 threes, at least make 1. But you're bricking both, like, and this is where the narrative of no help comes in, because if
there were actually adequate help doing what they needed to do, you wouldn't feel the need to do it all by yourself. And this is where it comes to.
Sometimes it's not people aren't doing they're not better than what you're up against. Man could be doing their job, but if the other man is doing his job, but he's better than you, then it's like at the end of the day, if my role player is, I don't know, Iguodala in his prime, and someone else has
Kwame Brown.
Yeah. And Kwame Brown's not a terrible basketball player. He has some uses, but I can think like I'd certainly I think Kendrick Perkins is a lot better than him, and nobody thinks Kendrick Perkins is a GOAT by any means. But when you're saying Kendrick Perkins is you take him to set screens, rebound, blah blah blah, be an enforcer, then Kwame Brown, that goes to show you. Like there's levels to this. There's levels to players at the end of the day. It's just like, fam, just because like you could be doing your job, you could be doing your best. That's why I don't like the whole analogy sometimes saying football, like, oh, they're not trying hard enough, passion, blah blah. It's like, fam, you can try as hard. Fam, Man United could pay me 200 bags, fam. I'll try my best. I'm dead. It's not gonna mean anything. It's not going to mean nothing.
Do you know what?
I'm doing my best. I'm trying to close down the space. I'm trying to pass it to my... Fam, I'm dead. I don't have the ability.
So what, do you think it's a thing where the only difference between like a Kendrick Perkins and a Kwame Brown is the system in Boston?
No, I think the difference is... I think Kwame Brown had his confidence squashed in Washington. And I think Kendrick Perkins was a lot... He had a situation where it was a lot clear. It was a lot clearer for him what he needed to do on his team to be successful. He's looking around. He's first starting. They're a losing team the first year as a rookie. Then KG walks through the door. Ray Allen walks through the door. You've already got Paul Pierce. You've already got Rondo. Then you see you've got these pieces around. Oh, I'm the starting five. Oh, I need to be in. I need to do that. And then once you're doing that night in, night out, the team's winning, you're rolling. That's when you start becoming a star in your role. At the end of the day, team's successful. I'm valued by my peers. They know what I bring to the table. I know what I'm bringing to the table to make this successful. It all works.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
So I'll say the no help thing. It's like it's not. Sometimes it's not necessarily calling man scrub. It's just like, fam, like his help is better than mine. If in 2009. LeBron went to the NBA Finals and it was LeBron versus Kobe, I'd say Kobe, your help is better than LeBron's.
I'll say Kobe wins that.
I'll say your help is better. You got Bynum, you got Gasol, you got Odom, you got Ariza, you got
from like
I'll say by teams, the way teams are constructed these days, that doesn't sound that mad, but it's like LeBron. It's like, okay, LeBron, Ben Wallace, Mo Williams.
Do you think LeBron had help in 2017?
When Kyrie was still there? Yeah, I think they just got overall. I think they went into that thinking that they had a chance, and then they learned in the series that, oh my God.
You see this stuff about LeBron not having help, yeah? Like a lot of those Cavs teams won like 60 plus games. The majority majority of the time.
LeBron's never been on a 60-win team.
What? Bro.
Maybe the Heat once. LeBron's hardly ever been on a 60-win team.
There was a year they were like the 4th seed.
Because he takes the regular season.
Yeah.
LeBron James.
Oh, maybe Cleveland the first time around. Yeah.
Fam.
2009, I think.
Fam, they won 61 games in 2009, 2010. What are you talking about?
That was about the new age guys.
No, I'm talking about, fam, this narrative that LeBron has never had help is cap. Because a lot of those teams were good enough to win 60 plus games. So what are we talking about?
You know Kevin Garnett got injured that season in 2009. Just saying, Boston were defending champions. Kevin Garnett got injured. And then still you want to compare the Boston roster to the Cleveland. I don't care how many games in the regular season Boston, because even in 2010, Boston, they had a lot of injuries and stuff. They won, I think they were the 4th seed. You want to compare that roster to LeBron's roster?
In 2017-18, the Cavs had a 50-32 record.
When I was talking about the Cavs, I was referring to the Cavs the first time around before he went to the Heat. A lot of those teams won like 50, 60 games in the regular season. Maybe the first The first 2 years where LeBron didn't make the playoffs, they were dead.
Because LeBron James was 23, 24, 25 years old and was a beast.
Yeah, but we're not gonna say we're not gonna say that he hasn't had no help though. That's the argument that I don't want to hear. Because okay, you were good enough to win 60 games or whatever. Hold on, wait. What year did he get to the finals? 07?
Yeah.
Let's see.
He won 62.
He won 62 games and you're getting swept in the finals.
He didn't win 62 games in 2007.
LeBron,
he did not win
James,
62 games.
Where he did.
Win.
No,
loss.
Detroit were the first seed in 07. I can't believe we're doing this. You can't even, you're running this argument and getting excited. You can't even name who else was on his team. Only I have named who else was on his team.
Oh yeah,
go on, name who's on that 07 team.
Yeah, Larry Hughes there?
Yeah.
What's that big man's name? The one that D-Wade dunked on.
Ilgauskas. Verjao. Go on.
Oh, that team was kind of dead still.
Yeah, LeBron had no right. LeBron had no right.
And then name the 2007 San Antonio Spurs.
Tony Parker, Ginobili, Duncan.
Michael Finley was even there as well. Maybe Richard Jefferson was there.
Listen, okay, the 2007 finals, I'm not going to hold that against LeBron. He had
Bruce Bowen, specialist defender, come on, man.
He was dirty as well. Anyway, but that's not the point.
And how old was he? This is the thing.
So Bruce Bowen.
The other day, this guy was just like, Hakeem got to the finals in his third year, blah, 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 and lost. When it's LeBron James.
Am I saying that Hakeem is better than LeBron? I'm just saying, yeah. The reason why I brought that up is because as much as I like and appreciate Kobe Bryant as a basketball player, I'm saying he wasn't that impactful. As in, you can't put Kobe Bryant on a team that has no history of winning and they're getting to the final in his third year. They're not doing that. Sorry. They're not. You
know why you can only say that? Because he played for the
Lakers
his whole career. That is the stupidest. If you put Ryan Giggs, not on Manchester United, on a team with no history of, that's what we're basically doing. That's what we've basically just done. If we put Paul Scholes on another team, blah, 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 that's basically what we're doing. And if that's what we're doing, I'm not even gonna entertain, because that's so dumb. That's why Kobe Bryant's not in the top 10, my folks.
No.
Because if he didn't play for the Lakers, he's not.
No, I'm not saying that.
That's just what you said.
What I'm saying is there are players that have gone to teams that have had no history of winning and have turned them into championship contenders, like Hakeem. Houston did not win a title before Hakeem got there. They had no history of winning before. Right.
So because he happens to be drafted, because these guys happen... This is the thing. This is a stupid argument. Because everybody knows in the NBA, the best draft picks go to the worst teams. So the teams with the history of winning are less likely to draft these men.
My point. So if the Houston Rockets were crap, hence why they got the number 1 pick, they've drafted Hakeem, number 1. 3 years later, they've gone to the finals
and lost.
But
the only titles he has is the Michael Jordan-less NBA ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hakeem's no higher than 10, by the way.
Oh, okay.
He's no higher than 10, by the way.
Okay. Well, which one of Kobe's titles can you say someone was the gatekeeper of the league? If he weren't the gatekeeper, was out for 2 years sitting down.
No one.
There wasn't really a gatekeeper.
Because if there was, it was him. But if you want to give it to Tim Duncan,
Kobe weren't stopping in the 2000s. There wasn't really anyone stopping anyone from winning championships in the 2000s.
Only 4 teams won championships.
Lakers, Pistons,
Boston, and the Spurs. Five of them are Kobe's. 5 of them are Timmy's. 1 each to the other 2 teams.
That's kind of mad.
And you're saying there was no gatekeepers.
So who was the gatekeeper then? Because it wasn't the Lakers.
He won
half of them.
He won half of them.
So he must be.
So why has no one mentioned Shaq in this?
Because Miami had one as well. That's
what I'm saying. Like, no one was really gatekeeping. If you really want to keep it 100, the competition wasn't that mad. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. To be honest, I'll be honest. To be completely fair, when the Lakers got Pau Gasol, it was like, all right, cool. The Lakers are going to win chips. Because after Kobe got rid of Shaq, which he did, yeah, after he got rid of Shaq, Kobe was out for blood. So that's why I think if LeBron had met him in the finals in, was it 2009, he would have lost. Even though he lost to Dwight Howard, but that's besides the point.
He shouldn't have.
Went to three consecutive finals with Pau Gasol, two back-to-back MVPs, only because, you know, people want to put the question out, oh yeah, can you win without Shaq? Because they never did that to Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Never going to do that. Never did it with Jordan and Pippen. But we're gonna do it with. And then he proved everyone that he could. He won 2 out of 3.
The reason why the Jordan argument doesn't work is because there was no question as to who was the best player on that Bulls team. So it doesn't work. And the proof is in the pudding. When Jordan bounced, Scottie Pippen could not win without Michael Jordan. So that argument is baseless. With the Kobe one and the Kobe Magic Kareem one, you've got more of an argument there. But Jordan, leave him alone.
Jordan win without Phil Jackson?
Did Kobe win without Phil Jackson?
No.
Okay.
But this is what I'm saying. If you reduce stuff to these little things, it's just so dumb. Because everyone has to be in a good situation to win a championship. There's no championship that you can point to me where someone's in a shitty situation at a bad team where either the teams run wrong or there's not a good collection of players or there ain't no start. It doesn't happen. So to nitpick at these things and go, oh, this guy was drafted here. Oh, and this, it's just dumb and more baseless. I'm going to steal your word for a second.
Fair enough. So where should Kobe be ranked then?
Bruv, I said it on the top of the show, bruv.
What, 5?
No, I'll put him no lower than 6 or 7.
So what? He's better than Larry Bird?
I have him on my list ahead of Larry Bird, and there's a couple of analysts and a lot of NBA people who have lived through Larry Bird's time who agree with me, but it's cool, innit?
Better
I'm not gonna mythologize over something.
I'm not mythologizing.
I saw Kobe being Bryant, innit? Listen, I'll put him over Larry Bird, and that's the thing. When we rank the greatest and stuff, I've always said the greatest is different from the best.
Okay,
but when I pick in terms of greatness, you have to look at ability and accolades.
What about impact?
This guy disregards impact, man.
What do you mean by impact?
He's a bull don't stop disciple, bruv.
What are we talking about impact? Accolades is your impact. No?
Not necessarily.
How is it not?
Oh, there's a lot of players that haven't got accolades like that are impactful.
Like Allen Iverson.
Allen Iverson's got 4 scoring titles.
Exactly. So you're making my point. There's no one who you can't get an accolade and not be impactful. If you've got a scoring title, you've been impactful. If you've got a defense, so I don't get why I need to say impactful as well.
No, but there are some.
So I mean, oh my God, he helped his team. No. He paid his teammates rent. Like what are we talking about impact? What are we saying?
Man, there are some players that are more impactful than others. That's what I'm saying.
Define impactful.
How you contribute towards winning and losing, the accolades.
Oh, okay. So if I have a scoring title and we have won, have I not been impacted? Did my scoring not impact winning?
I'm happy you said that. Do you know why? You know why I'm happy you said
that?
No.
That was a theoretical. That was theoretical. Usually, the guy that wins the scoring title don't win the championship
unless your name is Michael Jordan. I'm
exactly.
happy you said that. I'm happy.
Only MJ really has that on lock like that. But that's my point. Like, if you achieve something more time, you are being impactful. So why do I need to say impact?
I'm not saying these players have zero impact. I'm just saying there are some players.
How nice they were. How the press tells you how nice they were to their team. Basically,
you think I believe that? I don't believe
that's
that.
basically what you're telling me.
That's not what I'm saying.
How much of a good teammate were they? Where they like Magic Johnson and smiled all the time.
Giving people him.
You know why? You know why Magic was so happy? Because he was getting laid all the time. Like 4 times a day. I've heard the stories.
Yes. Dr. Bus. That's K. Daddy.
Busting shot all the time.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll come later. Yeah, I'll shout you in it.
Man, Bedrin just pulling up in the episode and stuff like, fam.
Yeah, go on. Yeah, him and Dr. Bus. Dr. Bus was lined up there.
Exactly. Dr. Bus had Playboy girls just lined up for these, man. So I don't want to hear, like, if we're talking impact, to me, like, that kind of goes without saying with your accolades.
If we're talking about...
Anyway, you cut me off. When I say greatness, I look at your ability and your accolades. Maybe... Do I place one more important than the other?
You do. But it's okay. It's okay.
In terms of greatness, I'll say accolades slightly, I'll lean slightly towards achievements than ability. But when it comes to the best, of course, I'm talking about your ability and then what you achieved with it.
Yeah, and you know what? As much as I argue with you, I do get your point. Like, okay, cool. Even though this player has more accolades, quote unquote, than the next man, what my eyes show me, this guy is not better than this guy is not. Okay, Chauncey Billups has a title, yeah? Gilbert Arenas doesn't. But you can look at both
exactly
and clearly see that if we're talking in terms of ability,
exactly,
that Gilbert Arenas is better. But if we're talking about impact, now, Chauncey Billups is a more impactful player than Gilbert Arenas.
But I think that's only because
he was in a better situation.
He won in Detroit, yeah.
Gilbert Arenas.
He went to Denver, yeah. It was a like-for-like swap with AI, and they got to a conference finals.
Yeah, he's a different kind of player.
He's a more impactful player. You're saying.
No, but Gilbert Arenas literally went over to Washington and just got given the keys. Make us relevant. So what are you then going to do then? If you're him, you are going to put up bare numbers and you are just going to score. Now, I don't think someone like that is foolish enough if at that time, let's say he went to Orlando before the knee surgeries and that, and he's playing with Dwight. Then I think if you saw the exact same Gilbert Arenas and he wasn't impacting winning, you can say that. But it's like when you actually, when a player's never actually been in a situation where I'm looking at the roster and going, yeah, you should be contending or winning with what you have, I can't then turn around and say you're not impacting to winning, because I can't lie, that 47-50 wins that you get to get in the second round, is that not winning? If you're not doing that, then just because you don't have enough to get over the top, that don't make you a loser.
So do you think teams that have lower records in like this regular season, do you think those players should be considered more for MVP than the teams that actually have a better record?
It depends. If it depends on who you are, I can't lie. If Kevin Durant was playing for an 8 seed and putting up 38, 7 and 8, then I think you have to look at him and had a really bad had a Kobe 05-06 roster. Then I think you have to look at it and be like, okay, we kind of predicted this team wouldn't make the playoffs. They're in the 8th seed, so they're already doing what we think we could have done. And he's playing ridiculous, meaning the only reason that they are able to do that is because of the way he's playing. So therefore, his value to his team is exponential. I just think it needs to be taken into consideration a bit more. It's something, you can't just dismiss that. You do have to look at certain cases. Now, that's why I said Jokic has to be in the consideration, because at the end of the day, your second and third best players are not there. What seed are they? The 5th seed?
Six.
They're the 6th seed. If they finish anywhere between like, if they basically don't get into the play-in, how can you not consider? And even if they do, I would still consider him. But let's go to convention. If they're not in the play-in, how can you not consider him?
because, as you said, we have a Devon Booker. I swear Phoenix they've lost 9 games.
Everyone's been healthy the whole year.
Yeah, 9 games. Yeah.
Everyone's been healthy the whole year. You've had all your bits.
I just think we can't pick and choose. Actually, I just think we can't pick and choose when we're going to give credit to certain players in certain situations. Yeah. I don't think we can pick and choose when we're going to give credit to certain players in certain situations. You came in with this podcast saying, why is Devon Booker being overlooked? And I'm saying, if they've got the best record in the league and Devon Booker's leading that charge, he has to be considered for MVP.
He's being overlooked because they're in a smaller market. So clearly they do pick and choose.
And I think that's wrong.
It is wrong.
With me, my logic is consistent, yeah? If you're the best player on a winning team, yeah, and you're having an outstanding season, you should be the MVP. So...
But the way they grade it is different. Like, if someone gets hurt, they're going to drop them down straight away.
I know.
Like let's say in an ideal world, let's say in an ideal world, Brooklyn's big three were all healthy the whole year. They had the best record. He wouldn't be. Yeah, he wouldn't be. Because they'll use the fact. That
KD spoke about spell quite on the media.
That you'll have. No, it's not even that. You have Kyrie and James Harden, so you're not getting the Shaq and Kobe years. You have years where Tim Duncan's getting it ahead of Shaq or ahead of Kobe because you're playing with the other person, or even Michael Jordan.
When Carmelo Michael Jordan was the best player, but they gave it to Carmelo.
Yeah, sometimes they look for someone else to give it to.
I think there's a bit of Giannis fatigue going on. It's wearing off a bit. He's creeping back into the run-ins, but I think there was a bit of Giannis fatigue going on because it's like, oh, we've given him 2 if we keep.
Yeah, but that's the thing. If the Bucks end up with the best record in the East.
What about LeBron though? LeBron's been the best player for how many years?
Yeah, but where are the Lakers seeded?
No, even now though. I'm talking about previous years.
No, but this is what I'm saying. We can look at the ISIS.
People are saying D-Rose is in 2011, but there was LeBron. People are saying there was Russ in what year? There was LeBron, there was James Harden.
Controversial opinion, yeah? The triple-double season where Russ won the MVP, James Harden should have won it. Houston won like 60.
That's not really controversial.
But basically, yeah, what Rich is basically saying, there isn't a year, basically, past when LeBron has started winning MVPs where you couldn't have given him the MVP. Like there wasn't a year, there isn't a year where he ain't been in the top 3, top 4 run-ins, but there's been a couple years where it's like, they're not giving it to him. Like, the bubble year, I might have given it to him.
So he was that year?
Giannis
should have got that.
Yeah, he did.
I said I might have. That's not a travesty to me. But
Do you think the D Rose one was a travesty?
That wasn't
not a travesty, but I thought again LeBron could have got that one.
Yeah.
So,
and I think a lot of that D Rose MVP was based on the projection they had for D Rose.
Even KD's one, LeBron could have got that one. Even though I think KD deserved it, LeBron could have got that one. So, Steph's first one.
Even the one that LeBron won in 2000 and it might have been, was it 2010?
9.
Or 2009. The year that, I think it was the year that Lakers, it was one of the years that Lakers went to the finals.
I think Kobe should have got that one.
Yeah, Kobe could have got that one. But I think LeBron just had better scoring. I think LeBron was just better statistically. I think they might have even won the same amount of games that year, or it was close.
I think it was between one, but that's the thing. They would have given it LeBron has less help argument. That's the thing. So it's like they know about these things when it suits their narrative.
Kobe was number 2 that year.
Because that's the thing. They would have looked at the Lakers roster and they would have looked at Cleveland's roster and go, wow, LeBron's doing this with way less help than Kobe. And that's what happened. So it's like, it's not like they're not alien to these things. They just know when to pick and choose them based on the narrative. But like, it feels like we're running out of time. Give me
Joe, you're overrated, underrated.
Who you asking me about this week?
Who's overrated and underrated?
Yeah.
Steph Curry. Is he overrated?
Ooh. Steph
is underrated.
I feel like we have to We might have to introduce like a drink champs thing where it's just like if you say Nevi, you have to take a shot or something, because I'm really tempted to say it. This is bad.
Steph is underrated, man. Guys don't rate him.
Even I'm thinking about it.
Steph is underrated, bro. I'm like Max Kellerman was saying, yeah. I'm like Max was saying, yeah, man, that he'll give the last shot.
He was smoking something.
Was it
loud.
Recently? This guy had the last shot. This guy bricked. Like,
okay. This is my first one. Yeah, I'm gonna go with overrated.
Wow.
Now I'll tell you why. Because I personally think, and I've always thought this, like Steph Curry is like the ultimate 1B. Seamless fit in the system, can play with anyone with his style of play. His range is crazy, best shooter ever, blah, 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 blah. But like I said with KD's over and under, I don't think you're better than a KD. Like, I don't think you're better than a LeBron James. And I think you're most effective when you're in that 1B role. When you've got someone else where who can close too, who the defense need to zero in as well. Because as we saw in the 2016 finals, bro, when they started to zero in on Golden State, when they started to get physical and push, every time man are running through screens, you're touching them and all of this stuff. It got a bit peak for them, man. And the other two you had KD, the ultimate sniper. So, or maybe I'm being unfair. I don't know.
I don't think you're being unfair. Personally, I'm gonna lean more towards overrated. But
that's the
it's
thing.
a bit.
He's definitely not. I think it's harsh. But he's definitely not underrated to me.
It's when I'm saying overrated, it's ever so slightly.
Exactly. I only feel like I'm saying it because I need to pick one.
Yeah, and it's because because of who Steph Curry is, there's limits to what he can do.
Exactly.
There's limits to because Steph Curry can't really impose himself on games physically, you can take him out of his game, sort of, ever so slightly. That's why KD can come into your house and win 2 finals MVPs under your nose. That's actually why. And if you look at the history of the NBA, the more athletic players are favored. Yeah. If you want to look at the list of MVPs, finals MVPs, it tends to lean towards the more athletic players.
But fam, this seems like a hella sour note to anything that Steph Curry over it. Like I feel like it's gonna paint me as a Steph Curry hater. I love Steph Curry. I'm just gonna put that out there. Steph Curry's cold. I personally think, for me, him and Kyrie are the best point guards in the league. Like I've got nothing bad to say. I got nothing bad to say about him. But if you're gonna press me on an over or underrated, I'll say.
So where would you put Steph Curry on your all-time list?
All time. He's in my top 50. Oh, okay. Because I have 2 all-time lists. I have the all-time list I'm supposed to say with the Bill Russells and the Larry Birds and all of that, and the players that I ain't seen and the people you do research on. Then I have my eye test all-time list who I've actually watched play basketball. Now, in the all-time list of what you're supposed to say, he's somewhere between 11 and 15, maybe 11 and 16, I don't know. He's closer to 11 than he is 16.
Okay.
In terms of my eye test, he's no doubt top 10, closer to 6 to... I've only got down, like, for certain, like, my top 4, and that's...
MJ, Kobe.
It's, I saw Washington MJ, so let's not do that. He's on the one supposed to. So it's Kobe, LeBron. They switch 1 and 2 every now and again. Then and to be honest, KD and Shaq switch 3 and 4, kind of blah blah blah. And then there's a whole. And then I think the Steph Currys, the Tim Duncans, Kevin Garnett's, blah blah blah, the D Wades. Yeah, a lot of people start coming in after that. After them 4, so. That's how I rate Steph. I rate Steph Curry highly, but if you're going to press me over or underrated.
Do you know why I done the Steph Curry one? Because obviously when we were doing is KD when we were doing is Steph Curry or KD is KD overrated or underrated, you said I've seen far too many lists where Steph Curry's ahead of him.
Yeah.
So I said, okay,
cool.
KD's
better.
Let me bring it to the table. I think Steph is slightly overrated.
I think KD's better.
I think if I'm ranking in between all-time list, for me, he's about 15. He's about 15.
Okay, let's end on this. Steph Curry or Isaiah Thomas?
Isaiah Thomas.
See, I say Steph Curry. Let's pick this up another time.
Steph. All right, cool. We call game signing out.
Over and
Thank
out.
you for coming, Charles, friend of the show.
Come on.